Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Hey, Dion. Thanks for stopping in. Hello, good evening, everybody. This is Ruby Simmons, and I'm stopping in today to talk about a personal issue that kind of happened to me recently. And I wanted to share this with you. And that's why the name of this title is Listen to Your Patients Before You Judge Them. Um, a couple weeks ago, I had an incident with my specialty pharmacy. And I was trying to explain to them, they called me, the automated system called me, and I logged on to call them back basically and find out why was the automated system calling me. And it turns out that for some reason my drug was being denied, and it was denying, stating that it should be billed to another insurance carrier, another specialty pharmacy. Now, mind you, I had been taking this drug for a while now. I had been infused about 4 to 5 times at this point, and all of a sudden, this time they're getting this denial. And I tried to explain to them that something's wrong with the denial. You need to research the account and go back to the first 4 times that you submitted this drug to the insurance to find out what you're doing wrong this time that you're all of a sudden getting a denial. And I went in to basically explain to them um, what transpired before they became the specialty pharmacy that was billing my drug. And I told them that this is how I know that they're supposed to be the specialty pharmacy that's billing my drug, and they built it fine the first 4 or 5 times that I have received the drug. Well, the biller insisted that the problem was with me having a secondary insurance primary at the time and then it terminating. And I asked her, well, what was denial? She said, well, it's saying that we should be billing CVS Caremark. And I said, no, you have to bill the medical insurance directly because this type of drug is billed medically for United Healthcare, and it does not go through the CVS formulary um, specialty pharmacy. You're the specialty pharmacy that they use because this type of drug for them is built medical, and they need you to send out the supplies and schedule the nurse to come out to infuse me. And the CVS Specialty Pharmacy does not do this. Well, they didn't want to listen to what I had to say. She wanted to tell me the same thing, so I requested a supervisor. Never be afraid to escalate when you're not getting the answers that you need from the billing representative. So I went from her to the supervisor. Me and the supervisor had a conversation, and some things transpired. I don't want to get into it because it's a bit lengthy. In the end, I got off the phone with the supervisor. She said she would research the account, and I said I will research what's going on my end. It turned out that neither the insurance, the other pharmacy, or anybody knew what they were saying or what they were doing. I had already fixed this in the beginning, so I knew what was going on, but nobody wanted to listen to me as a patient. I called back to check with the supervisor I spoke to, but they couldn't get in touch with her at the time. So they gave me another supervisor. I spoke to this new supervisor, and she told me the same thing that the first rep told me. And I explained to her that this is not correct, and I need her to go back into the account and research the account. And basically, she would not. She just kept saying the same thing over again, that it's because your other insurance terminated. And I said, but the denial you're receiving is not a denial saying that I had that the coverage terminated. is saying you should bill somebody else. But I'm telling you, that's not how it's working. I need you to go back into an account and find out why you're getting this denial this time and you hadn't gotten a denial before. So basically things got a bit, kind of heated. And I told her, I said, look, I've been doing this for 30 years and I'm telling you that you need to go back and look into the account to figure out what you're doing wrong. Please don't insult my intelligence. And at the time she said, well, excuse me. She said, I said to her, I said, look, if I'm wrong, then I'll apologize. I said, but if I'm right, I'm gonna escalate this and somebody's gonna get in trouble. Long story short, the supervisor that I was following up with the services on originally came online, and she said, okay, well, I'll transfer you. So she proceeds to transfer me to the the other supervisor. But I proceed to hear her talking after she was supposed to put me on hold. And in the short explanation of what she did was she basically started talking shit about me to the supervisor, and she hadn't put me on hold. She put me on conference call and proceeded to tell this supervisor that I didn't know what I was talking about, and I wasn't trying to listen to her, and she wasn't going to deal with me anymore because I wasn't listening or understanding to what she was saying. And so she's going to transfer the call to her. And she said, I always get confused with this thing. Can you show me how to transfer it again? And then she says, oops, she's on conference call. And the other supervisor said, Miss Simmons, are you still there? I said, yes, I am. So needless to say, you could actually hear her skulk off the phone after she realized that she still had me on the line and I heard everything that she said. The supervisor came back on and said, this was the old supervisor. She apologized for that girl, for that supervisor, and said that she found out what was wrong with my account and I was basically correct. And it was their fault that they messed up on the way they updated my insurance because it looks like somebody had taken it out and put it back in. And when they put it back in, they put it in wrong. And that she fixed everything and it should be going through fine. And if I wanted to, I could follow up the next day. And I pleasantly thanked her for taking the time and listening to me and doing what I said. But she didn't originally listen to me. She thought the same thing that everybody else thought, but she had to do her own research to make sure that what they were saying was actually wrong, which was really good. If you feel like a patient isn't right in what they're saying, you take their information, you listen to them, and you tell them you will do your follow-up and get back to them. That's the best way to take care of a patient. Don't argue with the patient. Don't tell the patient they're wrong. Just ask the questions that you need to ask to get the information that you need to follow up with their insurance carrier and to follow up on the issue. So I also had another incident where I told someone that my insurance had expired and this is the expiration date, and they refused to terminate my insurance because in the system when they logged in it was still active. I'm gonna tell you right now that just because that insurance is still active doesn't mean it's really active, because insurances take a while to terminate, put a termination date in on insurance sometimes. So it's best for you to notate the account, terminate the insurance, notate the account saying that the patient called in and said that their insurance terminated on this date, and you check the insurance but it's still active in the system, it needs to be followed up on again to make sure that it has terminated. And I wouldn't leave that insurance in there for you to bill, because if you bill it, then you're going to get a denial, and then you're going to keep following up on that claim for that insurance, when really that insurance is terminated and you just didn't follow back up on it. And now it might be old or anything could happen, and then you sending the patient a bill saying, oh, your insurance terminated. No, I called you and told you that my insurance terminated. You refused to update it. That's not on the patient, that's on you. So once again, even if you're a patient talking to an insurance, take down the name, the date, and the time that you talked to them and what was said. And I just wanted to share that experience because it was funny and also really sad at the same time, because I spoke to a supervisor who was not knowledgeable at all in the type of denial she got, because the denial that she got was not referencing that my insurance had terminated. It was referencing saying that they should bill another carrier. But it was saying that to them because somebody had removed my insurance out the system, put it in wrong, and it was causing the denial to come through and say that, oh, you should be billing CVS, when in all actuality, the type of drug that I'm on is a drug that a lot of insurances, not all insurances do, because my previous insurance didn't. It went through the pharmacy to be built. But my old insurance, which was now my new insurance again, wanted you to bill this drug medically. So when you're dealing with high dollar drugs, you should always check and see how they want high dollar drugs built. And this is really good for medical billers who work in places, work in specialty areas like rheumatology and oncology and specialty blood diseases and things like that. And for me, I have sarcoidosis. So that's a specialty, I forget what they call it. It's a specialized blood disease. Not blood disease, but it's a specialized disease. It's not a common disease. And so with that said, I just wanted to share that experience with you and say that if you are a specialist and you may be working in your own department as a rheumatologist, working out your own business as a rheumatologist, and I really doubt you'll probably be doing your own billing because it's a little more difficult than behavioral health and a general practitioner and things like that. But I just wanted to share that story because I thought it was very funny and also a teaching moment. My name is Ruby Simmons, and I am your medical billing mentor. And I'm also the owner of Blossom Revenue Cycle Solutions, LLC. And I'm sorry, somebody sent me a message. We can appeal with denied EOB to the correct payer. They will contact the patient to update their COB. Might be right if if the claim was denied in the sense that they had already built them, but they were getting this more, and I said denial, I should have said rejection. It was coming back as a rejection. They kept getting a rejection before they could even bill out the drug, because I didn't get the drug yet. So you can't bill the drug until after I get the drug sent out to me, and it wasn't sent out to me. But in this case, I would say just call the patient and get the information, get the correct information. It would take you too much time to appeal to the payer and tell to get the correct payer to pay. Um, and if you haven't even built that correct payer yet, which they had not, there's nobody to appeal to. So that might help you in other cases, but in this case, it wouldn't help you at all. So like I said, my name is Ruby Simmons, and I'm your medical billing mentor and owner of Blossom Revenue Cycle Solutions, where we believe a provider shouldn't have to struggle between patient care and their revenue cycle. I would like for you to check my website out in the bio, in my smart bio, and sign up on the newsletter list for freebies. And I would also like for you to check my link to our holiday sale, which ends December 31st. There's also some mini courses there for you. And I would like everybody to have a great night, and thank you for stopping in.